Hi, my name is Michelle Ludala, and I'm one of the school librarians here, and I'm really excited to do this presentation with my colleagues, and we look forward to meeting your children next year.
Hi, I'm Monica Sheehan, and I am a teacher librarian here at the high school.
Hi, I'm Megan Mabey. I'm library secretary here at New Canaan High School Library.
And this is Ziggy, the Libradoodle. Hi, welcome to New Canaan High School Library. We have a dynamic instructional program that we're really excited to share with you today. And in order to do that, we're going to actually walk you through our brand new library website. So let's get going. So this is the homepage. You can see there's a top navigation menu, and that has most of the tools your kids are going to use. The first tile is the homepage, brings you back to here. The second tile is for the virtual library, and this is where kids at any point during the school day can just click on and ask them questions of the librarians, and we're available and we'll answer their questions, and then they can go back to class or they can go back to whatever it was that they were doing. They can log in whether they're in the building or out of the building. Doesn't matter to us. We just want to be able to answer their questions and be available to them. This is a link to our database list, and so each of these links, once they're housed in Schoology, so that students need to sign in order to access this list. And then once they do, they can just go out directly. They don't need a username and password because they're already signed into Schoology. The third one is the annex, and this is our instructional portal, which actually, surprisingly enough, is becoming a little bit less relevant to our students this year, simply because most of the teachers are actually inviting us to be in their Schoology page with them. So instead of sending kids out to a separate instructional portal, we're bringing the content from that instructional portal straight into Schoology for each project within each course. If the students want to know more about the annex, or you want to know more about the annex, you can just click on this video and it will sort of give you a tour of how it works. The next link is for digital books, and we have really, as you can see, we have 3,400 digital books in our collection. We access them through Mac and Via, which is also an app that students can download. Also print books, obviously, and that's a separate tab here because we use Destiny as our portal for our print books. So kids can log in with their Google sign-on to either platform. The next tab is our YouTube channel, which has hundreds, no kidding, of tutorials on how to do stuff for all things library. You can see we have, this is the landing page for the portal. The first and most used web video tutorial is the one on how to format a works cited list. Then we have our library blog, which we populate theoretically every 2 weeks. And then there's a link to Schoology for the students and a link to PowerSchool for the students. The next thing you'll see on our homepage is a search box, and this search box is pretty powerful. Kids can enter any search they want into that box and click either keyword, title, or author and search. Then they'll be asked to log in with their Google. And what it does is it cross-searches almost all of our databases except those that are crossed out. Those are the ones that just don't play well with this vendor. But then that'll bring them to a landing portal, and they can refine their search in the top, or they could just leave it as is. There's a list of filters on the sidebar that will put Wayfair to shame. There are so many choices. And then also in that page, they can manually select an individual database. Also in this portal, the students will see sort of a carousel of all of our digital magazines parading across the top of the page. And this is how they show if they actually click on them. So here's the New Yorker from, I think, February. The next thing over to the right is, do you need a print book? Do you need an ebook? And so for the print book, it's going to give the students basically a form to fill out, and we'll go get it off the shelf and we'll send it up to class. So the other thing that they will see is off to the right is a video showing them how to access our ebook. The bottom navigation menu is for students who are citing their sources. We do a lot of instruction around this. So very quickly, we use MLA for grades 9, 10, and 11 for citing sources. So that will take them to the MLA 8 help page so that we're in MLA 8. And this is what it looks like. The next one is sample citations. Now, this is a giant document. I'm not kidding. It's like 55 pages long where students can search for how to cite a specific source. The next thing is really a breakdown of the 9 elements. So this kind of tells them a little bit about what those parts are. You'll see that there's a big red help button next to the 9 elements of an MLA 8 citation. That help button links to a video that explains exactly what that element is all about. Formatting the page, this is our most watched video. Okay, line spacing, this is a quick GIF. It's literally 15 seconds. There's a little bit of a line spacing problem that is a common problem, so that helps them fix that. So we created a playlist that really walks them through all of the 9 elements plus a few others. So there are 14 videos in total, and they are all on a YouTube playlist. So that is a link to that playlist. The elements of the MLA expectations are right here. This is a slide deck that will walk them through, again, the 9 elements. The other thing we wanted to include is really a breakdown of what the elements look like in an actual citation. So this is a slide deck of a bunch of examples, and you can see it's color-coded to the 9 elements. Next is an infographic we created when we first started working in MLA 8, and this is really sort of a cheat sheet for database citations. Okay, so the next section of our website is really contact us. Students can text the library, they can reach us through the virtual library. We really try to be as accessible as possible. Also, very often students really don't know what librarians do sometimes when they arrive at the high school. So we actually put together, we did a couple of experiments, and this is the one we used the most. We actually set our alarms to go off every period. This was when we had a seven period day. And we tallied how we were spending our time. So we just took a snapshot at every time our alarm went off for 40-something days. And ultimately what we found was this is how our time is spent. So mostly we spend time instructing. We do have a substantive part of our website is really devoted to research for obvious reasons. So we have a research model that we take very seriously. It's something that students will see in project after project. So there are 2 videos here, one to show them a little bit about the research model, and the other one is to show them a little bit about the annex, which I talked about earlier. And databases are a significant part of our collections. At the bottom is basically these are posters that we are posting in the classroom and throughout the school. So they each have QR codes to instructional parts. So here's a video on how to use it. Here's how to cite it. Here's what it does. Sort of a nice overview. So we're posting these around the building. And there are also obviously the posters are within a slide deck, which is available here. So we also really have incorporated podcasts as part of our collections. So this is, if the students click on any one of these topics, it will take them out to a huge list of sometimes subtopics, but podcasts that go along with those topics. We also have some while we have hundreds of videos on our YouTube channel, it can be overwhelming to come there and search. So we wanted to make sure that we had some very clear videos about the research process that were right here accessible on the homepage. So check your bias, how to get started, using one source to locate others. So we call that lateral reading. Finding web articles that require subscriptions, accessing databases, database search strategies, and research questions, that kind of stuff. So we've got a lot there. The next category is citing sources, and I've already spent a lot of time on this, so I don't really want to take more time except to tell you that we really do not encourage our students to we really actively discourage kids actually from using EasyBib or any other citation generation tool. MLA 8, I've kind of gone over all of these materials. This is really sort of a reformatting of some of the things that we saw in that navigation menu. We also teach our students to use APA in their senior year, and so we've put together a resource page for them to cite their sources, so that's available too. All right, we're going to talk about reading. On the landing page of the reading section of our website, you'll see that there is a slide deck, and you can see that we feature our top 10 most circulated books for the month. We talk about print circulation, what's being borrowed. We also have Nonfiction loans by Dewey category. Ebook circulation, you can see October was a huge month. Who borrows more at New Canaan High School Library? The other thing we have is I'm really into these poster slide decks, mostly because they work in the digital space, but also we can hang them all over the school, which is what we've done with these. So we have 200 of these made so far. They're posted throughout the school building. We're very excited about it. We also have a page for our print books, and you can see that there's a widget there where they can literally search for the book they're looking for right away. Ms. Sheehan has put together a fabulous tutorial right beneath that to show them how to navigate the catalog. And then we also feature our newest books at New Canaan High School Library. We really wanted to have some kind of a map that shows students where the parts of the collection are. I don't expect it's going to get used much. We have a summer reading page that explains our philosophy around summer reading. We want to make sure that there is a book here for every learner in this school, but it's important to note that not every book on the list is right for every learner in the school. If you look to the right, you'll see all of our summer reading lists going all the way back to 2010. We also have a section of the library dedicated to Lexile reading levels, so we literally went through the English book room and identified the books by Lexile number, and so we were able to generate lists according to Lexile number. We have a link to our Tech Integrators help desk. We do have an innovation section of our library, and it's really a vibrant, dynamic part of our program, and we're so excited about it. Unfortunately, during COVID, and probably at least for the first semester of next year, this is really not going to be in play. We have a long blog post that I sort of posted in here about design thinking and what our goals are around this innovation section of our library. The first and really most popular section of our library really is the makerspace. And you can see on the right, we have literally all of these materials are in our library. So we've got a slide deck showing what's available. And at the bottom, you'll see we have a bunch of students working on a Rube Goldberg machine to demonstrate how there's a chain of events that can lead to the collapse of civilization. We have a virtual reality lab, and it's really still an emerging technology for us. It was a very popular space for students. We really have materials that really go across the curriculum. For obvious reasons, we can't have kids sharing goggles or being in tiny closed space. Moving around a whole lot. We have a podcasting studio that was literally just put together before February break of 2020. Information about the library, a description of what our library program does that's taken straight from the Course of Studies guide. The next thing is our mission statement. We did some research around our impact on learning, and this is a slide deck that can walk you through the 6 ways in which working with the school library, both from the teacher standpoint, but also one-on-one with the students who actively seek a librarian do perform better on their research tasks. We have a material selection policy, and our calendar is transparent. We are public, like this is our schedule for literally today, and our hours. That is the grand tour. If you have any questions, remember that there is a page. It tells you how to reach out to us. This is the link to the high school library.